When designing for print, the sky is the limit. We can really push the envelope, especially when it comes to layout. We can wrap content around any shape we'd like. On the web, however, everything is contained within rectangles and boxes. And we've been pretty creative while living in this boxy world. But what if we could break free and build designs more similar to those found in editorial design? Well, what if I told you we actually can do this today? Hi, I'm Brian Treese, and in this course, I'm going to help you break free from the shackles of the rectangularness of the web and bring more of the anything goes-ness from the print realm. This course is aimed at both developers and designers familiar with HTML and CSS. The code that you'll see won't require you to be a front-end ninja, but you'll need to be comfortable with the syntax and traditional layout methods on the web. By the end of this course, you'll be thinking about web content design in a whole new way. You will be among the first to break new ground into uncharted territory with non-rectangular layouts and content flows. And you'll have many envious designers and developers digging in and dissecting your code, asking themselves, wait, how did they do this? We will begin in this first module by focusing on what CSS shapes are and the role that they play in modern web layouts. Then, in the next module, we will dig into the fundamentals of the various CSS properties and functions from the spec, and we'll examine how they work and how they are used. Then, in the third module, we'll take a look at how we can take them even further by looking at a somewhat complex example, something that you might find in the real world. We will then look at animating and transitioning shapes. We will look at an example developed by the folks at Adobe that brings all of this greatness together. Then we'll explore what's expected in the future for CSS shapes and exclusions. And then in the fourth and final module, we will discuss and explore some very handy and helpful tools and resources to help us work with shapes along the way. And then we'll wrap everything up and reflect on what we've learned. So let's get started.